say to you, my name is Fred Oakman. As always with me today is Mr. Jake Peters. We are PS This Is Awesome. We're a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 323. Now, this is a show where we share our personal feelings about the current state of PlayStation. But before we go on with the show, I invite you all to subscribe to our channel on YouTube, youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome. If you want to make fun of our trophy list on the PlayStation Network, you can find me at anchorlist_81 and Mr. Jake Peters at jakesaw01. As always, you can write our show at psthisisawesome@gmail.com. Most importantly, don't forget to share the show with your friends. Make sure you leave comments, rate our podcast, and help the algorithm push us up to new listeners. And as a reminder, we do this show as a video podcast as well. And you can watch that on the YouTube channel. And if you are a new, or if you've been around for a while, listener, we do have a Patreon. You can support our show for $1 a month. The Patreon tier is called the One and Only $1 Club. You can head over to www.patreon.com/PSThisIsAwesome and become a $1 patron. Get a free vinyl die-cut sticker in the mail and a shout-out on our podcast. So with that out of the way, Jake, how are you today? I don't see you in a hat very often.
No, I do wear one from time to time, but it's not like I used to wear a hat all the time. I go through like phases, and I haven't really in the last so many years. The only time I wear a hat is when I'm like working outside or something, or if my hair is a mess. Because, like, for example, I need a haircut, and I just got off of the motorcycle, so I had, like, this just stupid helmet hair.
Yeah.
And so I throw a hat on real quick just because it's easier. But, no, I don't really wear a hat a lot, mainly because I'm not really... Like, if I'm going to wear a hat, I don't want it to be like a, oh... He's got that one fucking hat that he wears every fucking day, all the time, forever.
I think that's cool to do that. But yeah, go ahead.
And like if I'm gonna wear hats, I'd like to have like, you know, maybe 3 to 5 hats in rotation if I'm gonna wear them. It's like not like, you know, because I'm not gonna wear a hat every day, so it'd be nice to have a couple to throw on. I can have one that I don't feel bad about destroying, and one that I don't feel bad that might be a certain color or whatever. But the problem is, and I'm sure you know this, I think that baseball caps, referring to these types of hats that we're both wearing, way too fucking expensive. I don't know what that's about. Why is it $30 to $40 for a fucking baseball hat? I really don't get it.
I don't know.
So yeah, I don't do it all that much. I actually bought this when I was in Florida because we were at Universal, and it just like I just needed something to put on my head because I was just fucking sweating so much and sun was out. So I bet we went into I think it was some kind of it's like right in the entrance to Universal. I don't know if it was like a Quicksilver shop or Billabong or one of those fucking like kind of stores. And this is a Billabong hat, but so yeah, not big on the hat game. But I do enjoy one from time to time. They start to annoy me after a certain period of time.
Yeah,
so
that's fair.
But today and yesterday, and actually Saturday, even though it was a little chilly. Actually, Saturday was fucking a couple of days ago. Anyway, weather's been nice past few days. So enjoying that. Saturday was cold.
Yep.
I say cold, it was like 50, but it was sunny, so I mowed my lawn. That was nice. Sunday, I mowed my parents' lawn, and they have a lot more lawn than I do, so that took a while. But it was nice.
Yeah, you like to do that stuff, so it's like a blessing.
So I enjoyed it. And then, although my parents' lawn is really bumpy, so like by the time I'm done with it, I'm only doing it because my dad's not home yet from Florida, but I feel like I got the shit kicked out of me. By the time I was done, just because you're kind of battling the ground a little bit. Yesterday was the big event, the total solar eclipse. We are in the prime time area for that.
The event horizon.
So that was pretty cool. And then after that, I just like was cleaning out my garage because I was like, it's fucking beautiful out. I'm not gonna waste the day. I would just, you know, by the time I got done with the Eclipse and everything, it was like probably 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I just went out and did garage shit the rest of the day. And then today, you know, just working, but it's beautiful. So I knew we were gonna be delayed starting the podcast. So Sarah and I went for a quick ride just because the weather was nice around the lake and. Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of rambly, but the weather has got me in a
better mood.
Got me in a peppy mood.
Good.
So I'm looking forward to the summer, big time.
Until it's 100 fucking degrees, and then you're just like, God damn it,
dude. Every fucking year, about January, I think about like, how hard would it be to move south? And it's not that I actually want to. It's that I just fucking get so depressed in the winter.
You feel like you need to.
And I just want like it to be warm and sunny to like recharge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess I could, you know, go vacation or whatever, but it's just tough because January is like, I'm not going to use my vacation for the year, the first month of the year. That's crazy.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to use it like when it's nice out up here. So I don't know. But yeah, so starting to clean out the garage. I've been thinking about ways to kill birds. I don't know if you ever thought of this before.
No, I'm a big fan of birds. I like them.
You've never owned a building
where they nest,
where they like to literally go inside. Like imagine like your garage, you park your car and your motorcycle in there, and imagine every day you come out and your car and your motorcycle are just covered in bird shit every single day.
That would be annoying. You don't have to kill them. You can just like get rid of them.
No, you can't, Fred. You can't. That's the problem. Is that they like. I've tried the fucking noisemakers. I've tried the fucking shiny shit. I'm literally at the point where I'm looking at liquid bird repellent that I can spray all over the inside of my barn to try and keep them away.
You can't just like use. You have all those cats. Can't you just save all their piss and just throw it all over in there? Because then
it doesn't do. I don't know what it is about barn swallows.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck, man. They will literally come in there. Like I'll be in the barn banging on shit, and they'll be like flying around my head screaming at me because I'm too close to their nest.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
So it's like every year, as soon as they make a nest, I fucking smash it every single year. I'm like, well, maybe if I smash their nests, they'll just leave. But no, they're fucking dumb and they're persistent.
Diligent.
So like. I'm with you. I don't want to kill them, right? If I can find a way so that, like, I'm trying to find a repellent.
All right, listeners, this is your task.
Something that they like. If anybody out there knows of something that isn't like a fucking scarecrow or a noisemaker that I can use, the only thing that I've heard that works really well is to literally cover everything in nails because they won't sit on them. And I'm not doing that because I'm not gonna like cover all my walls and rafters and everything with fucking nails. That's crazy.
Right.
Or you can use like grease, but they make this spray that's tacky and they don't like to land on stuff that's sticky. So they won't land on it. But it's like then all of my fucking everything is covered in sticky shit. Like I don't want to do that either. So if anybody out there knows a way, I'm at the point now where it's just like I just hope my barn just burns the fuck down, and then I can build a new one that's completely sealed. Because here's the problem: the ideal thing to do would be to seal it up so they can't get inside. But it's a 125-year-old barn. There's no sealing it up, short of really doing some retro work. So. Sorry, I didn't mean to get so angry about birds. I love birds, but it's just these barn swallows, man.
Here we go.
Dude,
no.
Dude, well, here's the thing. Like, aside from the fact that bird shit is fucking gross, you can get sick from it. Like, it carries disease.
Oh, yeah.
It's like one of the few like animal feces that will actually make you sick if you breathe it in, or
one of the few. I would imagine there's
Yeah.
quite a few, but they
Okay. Like, your dog's crap is not going to make you sick unless it's like dying or something. That's what I mean. Like, but if a bird shits in your mouth, like, you could get sick from it.
Jesus Christ.
So
let me ask you this, and then I have some shit to say about the Eclipse, and I want to talk about the Eclipse briefly. Number one, has a bird ever shit in your mouth? And then number two,
no, but one
has a bird
Okay,
ever
go ahead.
shit on your head?
no and yes.
Same. I've been
So-
shit in the head by a random fucking bird flying.
So yeah, one's never shat in my mouth, because I think I would literally just kill myself. But a bird did once. I was at my in-laws for like some family thing, and I was all dressed up and everything, and I was walking like around the back of their house to go into their kitchen, the back door into their kitchen, and a bird just shits right on like side of my head down onto my shoulder, all over my shirt and shit. I'm just like, you gotta be fucking kidding
I think
me.
here's the thing. That happened to me at college. I was walking to class and I got shit on by a fucking bird. And I had to turn around and go back to the dorm with shit all over my head. It's like, what do you fucking do? It's like, you got nowhere to go. You got to walk back. That's a walk of fucking shame. But like, dude, it's like, I think most people have been shit on by a flying bird. Because you have and I have. So that's 100%. So I would be surprised if there are adults our age who haven't been shit on by a fucking bird.
I wouldn't say that most people have been shit on. I would say that it happens frequently enough that it's not uncommon.
You would think it'd be a really rare instance, right? Like, it's hard as to win the lottery. Like, but I think birds shit a lot, and then there's lots.
Where
of
do
them.
these creatures get off just fucking dropping their payload wherever the hell they want when they're
Dude,
flying
that's what I
around?
would fucking do. You can't catch them. Think about it. Just let them fucking unload, dude.
I'm just gonna buy a shotgun and just start shooting them all out of the sky at my house. The neighbors, I mean, and everyone around my house blows off fireworks all the time anyways. No one's gonna give a shit.
Yeah. Well, dude, so two things. We were in the totality for the Eclipse. We were fortunate enough that a very thin line going across America fell right into Jake and I's zone. I got a few quick things to say about this. And they kind of all tie together. I played a concert, an Eclipse party at the Sunset Grill. And you just don't know what's going to happen, right? You just don't know. As far as like the turnout, they don't open normally until May. So like they're open like literally 3 weeks early, and like they all the businesses around were doing the same shit and having Eclipse parties and having live music, and I got asked to go play there. So they have a decent sound system there, but to be clear, they don't really know how to use it. So I had to show up like 2 hours early, and I was, because their sound system had been like, the speakers still had garbage bags over them from the winter, like they winterized shit, and then it's just like, here's these cables that are still like really stiff from being cold, and like here's the mixer we had tucked away, and it's like, have fun, you know, connect this to the fucking router. It's a control surface that you have to connect to a router that connects to an iPad that connects to some wireless system they have plugged in, and they're pretty insistent on just using their system. And I was cool with it, but like, so I had to get there early. I got it all working, but as I was screwing around with it about an hour and a half before I was supposed to even play, I got some really bad feedback in the monitor, and I found out that like, it wasn't feedback, but it was actually just a bad cable that was squealing. And I thought it was feedback. I was like, what the fuck is... So anyways, there were like 3 or 4 people around this gas fireplace in front of the stage, which is a really nice setup. And this one guy's just like, he's like, man, don't worry. He goes, don't worry about it. I'm in a band. You got to get there early. You got to get stuff set up. I totally get it. Don't apologize. And he's a real nice guy, you know. He's like in his 50s. He has like a kind of like a long metalhead hair. I get things dialed in. I get off the stage, and he goes, hey, man, where you from, man? And I'm like, hey, I'm from Meadville. It's about, 30 minutes, 18 miles from here. All right. I'm like, are you guys visiting for the Eclipse? And he goes, as a matter of fact, we are. Yeah, this is the totality area. We wanted to come check out Edinburgh. We heard it's a nice college scene. And he said something like, check out the babes, just go on campus, grab a couple beers, And he's there with his wife, right? And I'm like, well, where are you from? And he goes, well, I'm from Clearfield. And Clearfield's actually where I was born. Like, I don't have a lot of memories from Clearfield, except for when we visit relatives, I would go to my grandmother's, and then she drove this Chevy blue pickup truck. And there was an arcade at the Clearfield Mall called the Gold Mine, and she would take me there. And I would just fucking, she'd give me like $5 in quarters, and which is a lot of money back then. I was just fucking gaming my ass off at the arcade, and she loved watching me play. So yeah, little Fred was there, and his grandma was like taking him to the arcade, because what else do you do when you're 8 or 9? And needless to say, I tell this guy, well, shit, I'm from Clearfield, and my father was actually is from Clearfield, and we have family up there. And he goes, oh yeah, do you have any family there now? And I said, well, my uncle has a garage in Kernsville, which is kind of close. And his wife's like, oh, yeah, I know that garage, Bowery's garage. I said, yeah, that's him. I said, it's exactly what you want. Those guys know how to turn a wrench. They do great service there. They got a shop dog. It's like one of those places. And she goes, oh, okay. Oh, wow, that's your uncle? Yeah, yep. And then he was like, well, whereabouts in Clearfield did your dad grow up? I said, well, he grew up in the East End. And he nudges, his dad grew up in the East End, and it's becoming this fucking thing, right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, he did. Well, what street did he live on? And I was like, honestly, I don't even know. I said, that's my grandma's house. But I know at the end of the street, there's like almost a vertical brick road that they had to like quarantine off because it became so fucking dangerous. Like it was shifting and the bricks were just going to get knocked loose and just roll down the fucking hill. And I'm telling him this, and she goes, oh my gosh. And I'm like, what? And she goes, what was your grandma's last name? And I said, Oakman, same as mine. And she goes, Yolanda? And I'm like, yeah, that was my fucking grandma. And she goes, we live 2 houses away. And I'm like, what? So these random fucking people from Clearfield show up at my gig. This guy's just a friendly guy. He's getting fucking hammered. We're getting along. And he plays in like a metal cover band. And it was just a really weird encounter. And I shit you not, about 3 or 4 days prior to this, my cousin was writing me saying, dude, you need to come play some fucking shows down in Clearfield. So we can see you play. You got family now. We'd love to come. We don't want to drive 3 fucking hours to Meadville to watch you play. You should come out here and play for us, get paid, and hang out and make a weekend of it. Where should I play? And he said there was a place called oh God, there's something Monkey or something. I don't even know what it was called. Twisted Monkey or something. And I said, okay, well, where's that at? He goes, it's in Hyde. Hyde is the name of the town. It's right outside of Clearfield. And I'm like, all right. So then I'm talking to this guy 4 days later, and I'm like, dude, where would I even play original stuff? And he goes, there's this place in Hyde. And he's like, it's called like the Twisted Monkey. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard of it. 4 days ago, I just heard about it. So, dude, we were like talking about the local pizza shops. It was really weird, man. But this guy was he had a lot of positive energy. He was just out there to have fun. Needless to say, I played until about 2:45, and I took a break. I watched the Eclipse. Now, I will say this about the Eclipse, and I want to know if you had a similar experience. Dude, I'm a realist. I'm a practical person. So when everyone's geeking out and driving across the country to get inside the totality line of where it's going to be completely covered, I'm just like, that seems a little wild. Why would you do that? It's 2 minutes and the sun's going to disappear. It's going to fucking come back out, and it's going to drop in temperature, and then it's just going to come back. It's not a big fucking deal, right? It'll be cool, but it's not going to be everyone always talks about the fucking eclipse being spiritual and some sort of crazy reckoning people have internally, and it's almost like an experience that people are willing to travel across the globe to experience. We just fucking lived here, so we got to experience. How cool. So this thing starts happening, and it happens, and I'm like, wow, this is really fucking awesome. This is really fucking dope. Cooler than I could imagine it being, right? You think you know what it's going to feel like and look like, but there is something special that goes on there. And it seems so trivial because you know what's happening. It's just the moon is getting right in line with your area of the sun, and that's all it is. But it creates this weird sense of solidarity with anyone you're around. it creates this really strange feeling of like, if I'm sure the listeners know The Watchmen, right? So the Watchmen, the movie and the graphic novel, the bad guy, essentially Ozymandias, wants to get rid of war, wants to make world peace, and he found out that the only way to do it was to like literally pretend, fake an alien invasion that killed lots of people, like just killed lots of people, so that there was a threat or something bigger than what existed on Earth, so that we would all, and like it was very controversial, right? And this was why the graphic novel was so interesting, is because it brought about like, you know, is it that whole thing? Do you kill a few to save mankind, to stop nuclear war, to stop, you know, all this fighting that we do with each other, all this shit? And I'll say, like, while nobody died during the eclipse, it had a similar effect for 2 fucking minutes, because I'm standing there, and it just gets fucking quiet, dude. And nobody fucking cared what political party anyone else was in. No one fucking cared about, you know, what fucking sexual orientation people want to be identified as. No one fucking cared about any of the shit you hear all the fucking time, right? That we're constantly beating each other in the face over with baseball bats because we just can't fucking get along. When this thing fucking happened, I think what happened for me was like, it was the most peaceful, like, that I had felt like in like 6 years, like the most peace. And I don't think it was the eclipse per se, but I think it was the effect that the eclipse had on everybody. Just fucking getting people to fucking chill out, and we can all enjoy one thing. We all agree that it was fucking awesome. Like, there wasn't one person that was like, it's fucking lame. You know what I mean? There wasn't one fucking asshole that's like, this is stupid. Like, everyone was just jaw on the fucking floor enjoying this thing. At least in the group that I was in. And you could hear people like clapping and celebrating. And it was like, wow, we just all experienced this thing that's greater than all of us. And I'm thinking for a lot of people, that might be what religion feels like. I'm not a religious person, but it was really weird because I didn't really think it was the actual eclipse that I was enamored with. I was really taken by just the peacefulness and the general excitement and just fucking vibe of everything for those 2 minutes. And it was just like, wow. This could be the life. Like, this could be how we could live as a people and just fucking get along. But as soon as the fucking sun came back, dude, it's just like, all right, yeah, that was a cool thing we all experienced. Let's go back to the real world. And it's like, fuck, man. Like, why does it take something so cosmic to unite people? And it just kind of pisses me off. But like, that was my takeaway from it. And like, I will say this. I was on the end of a lake, so we were overlooking a lake, and it looked like a sunset, or maybe, you know, the beginning of sunrise, but there was a very obvious purple hue that I had never seen before in the sky. Like, it was a different fucking way light was refracting or fucking, you know, cutting through. It was a really weird tone in the air, like a visual tone. Like, it was really fucking something, dude. And you could go out, you could just look bare naked in the eye. Like, you know, you have to have glasses on. You just fucking take glasses on and look at that fucking ring of fire. It was wild, dude. It was really cool. But Jake, I'm curious to hear a little bit more about your experience, and if you were more impressed with it than you thought you were going to be.
Well, the short answer is yes. It was definitely one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's from the perspective of like, you're witnessing. You're not only witnessing history, something that will literally never happen again in our lifetime, but the fact that, like, your worldview is completely flipped over for a second. Like, it's 3:00 in the afternoon and it's sunny out. And then one of the weirdest, and I was talking to a coworker about it today. The thing that I don't think a lot of people realize, like, one of my coworkers thought this, and so he stayed in Pittsburgh, which is really unfortunate for him because when the moon is passing the sun, the difference between there being a sliver of sun left and the moon covering it completely is literally night and day. And I don't mean that.
Oh, yeah,
like,
it is.
the pun. It's like you go from it being basically sunny out, although it's kind of dim because the moon's covering a lot of the sun, to instantly, bam, dark, fucking ring of fire in the sky. All the colors are completely wild and weird and different.
They really are weird, man.
You can see like the solar flares coming off the sun. Like, I don't know if you noticed that at all. Like, there are spots where you can see it. Like, there is a complete transformation that happens when you're in the path of totality to even being like 1% out of it.
Right.
So I feel bad for these people that were like, oh, you know, like, it's just like the sun passing across this fucking moon, or the moon passing across the sun. I'll see 98% of it, so it's basically the same thing, right? And it's like, no, it's not even fucking close. That's one of the things that was for me the biggest thing, right? Is that like how it, you know, I have my glasses on because it's too bright. It's too bright. You have your fucking glasses on, then the sun disappears from your vision. And so you pull your glasses off, the entire world is different.
Yeah, right.
It's like you literally stepped through a portal into some fucking bizarro universe.
Yeah.
Like, it is...
You're in the
unbelievable.
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel bad for the people that missed it. Now, one of the things that I will say is that around me, literally as soon as the sun went dark, explosions started happening all the fuck around me.
That sucks.
People were like blowing off fucking dynamite. Like, I don't know what was going on, but like really crazy shit.
Tanninite was going off. Yeah, right.
Like nobody was shooting stuff into the sky, so like my view wasn't being obstructed or anything. But like there was it wasn't quiet. It was like banging and all this stuff, and which was whatever. I mean, it was the visuals that were the experience, and but I will say that and we don't have to linger on this forever because it's like it's trying to explain. Like I feel almost bad explaining this to people that didn't have the opportunity to see it, because most people like won't ever be able to see one, and like trying to explain to them like how amazing it is like trying to explain to somebody who's poor like how awesome it is being a millionaire. Like you can't even fathom it. They can't fathom it, and also they probably wish they would have been there. So, like, the thing that I think a lot of that, like, we also have to say too is that like 5 minutes after the totality ended, pandemonium, fucking traffic everywhere. Like from our house, like from Meadville. I'll just use Meadville because it's the biggest, probably other than going to Erie. Meadville is like it's where you live. It's closer to me. It's like an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and a half to get to Pittsburgh from Meadville. I know people that came up to Meadville to watch the eclipse. It took them 4 to 5 hours to get to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, traffic was just a
crawl,
dude.
There was one of my coworkers lives in Erie, and he said that they had signs everywhere that they were expecting 250,000 people to come into Erie for the duration of the eclipse. And just to give you an idea, Erie used to be a lot bigger, but nowadays there's only about 80,000 people that live there. Like, it's not a huge town. And so when you have 3 to 4 times the amount of people that live there coming into town to watch this thing.
It was a big deal, man.
Dude, they had freaking like EMTs staged and fire trucks and patrol. Like, it was wild. And so, dude, I feel like my boss got a little bit pissed off at us, but like I kind of spearheaded this thing at the office where like on Friday afternoon, I told my boss, I was like, look, man, I'm not coming in on Monday. I was like, I'm not taking a vacation day either. I was like, I'll work from home, but then I'm going to take 2 hours and I'm going to watch this fucking thing that I'll never get to see again the rest of my life. It's like, I don't even give it, like, I don't even, like, even if it wasn't as crazy and amazing as it was, and it was just like, I don't know,
a partial
watching
eclipse or something.
Yeah, well, even like if it was just something mundane, but it was like a once in a lifetime opportunity that I cared about, I was like, I'm not missing this for fucking work.
Right.
And so like I feel bad for the people, first responders and stuff, that unfortunately weren't able to see it even in the area. But I think most places were conducive to it. Like I know all the schools in the area basically canceled because of the eclipse. I think, to be honest with you though, I think the schools were canceled more because of the
faculty,
the like warnings issued from FEMA and all this stuff, and not because they gave a shit about the kids seeing the eclipse.
Right.
So that was nice. So Sarah had yesterday off. I had yesterday. I worked from home yesterday, and we have an addition on our first floor that has a flat roof and a window that goes out onto it. So we climbed out onto our roof with like blankets and just like laid on the roof and stared at the fucking thing.
Awesome.
It was really cool. And I think like there are total eclipses somewhere in the world, like every few years. But a lot of times they're over the ocean or like some really crazy place.
You got to go
like
to another
across the world
fucking country to see it. Yeah, right.
But like for us, where we are, the next time a total solar eclipse happens is like 347 years from now.
Yeah, we'll have to travel to see this.
So, like the next one that's even in North America at all,
it's like 10 years from now.
Is in 2044, which is 20 years from now, and it starts in Montana and goes to the North Pole. So you literally have to go to like Alberta if you want to see it, which is a long way for us. So, it's pretty amazing,
dude. Let me ask
like
this: there are like eclipse chasers, like people that will go from country to country to see this. Before you die, do you think you'll try to chase down one to see it one more time? Would it be worth it? Do you think?
I think it would be.
Yeah, I know. I sound so stupid, but I'm with you.
Like I could see myself in 2044, I'll be about retirement age.
Thinking about taking a trip out there.
So a little bit younger than that. Why not fucking fly to Alberta in some like park in the middle of the woods up there where there's no light pollution?
One more time, dude.
Because I was telling my coworker when we were talking about this today, I was like, I bet the eclipse up there would be fucking rad
the mountains and shit.
Like it's up in like the Arctic Circle and shit. There's like no light pollution at all.
Oh my god!
Like how fucking cool would that be? And now, granted, the travel would be horrible and it's probably gonna be cold and like all this stuff. But I don't know, man. One of the things I will say, like the one final comment I have that I will say is that I'm just really glad that this happened for us when we are of an age where we can appreciate.
Yeah, could you imagine being a kid?
Like my nephew is going to be 5 in May, and I'm sure like my brother had him out there and they probably watched it, but if he remembers this at all, it'll be like a fleeting memory, and he'll never have the opportunity in his entire life to see one unless he travels somewhere far to do it.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy to me that we like got so lucky in this one tiny space.
Yeah, this is like that's why I think we're in a simulation.
And like there's a place in Missouri, I don't know if you knew this, because there was a total eclipse that went the other way in 2017. Like whatever that was, 7 or 8 years ago. We had a partial here. I don't know if you remember, we could see a partial eclipse from here.
Yeah, I think I do remember.
But there's a place in Missouri or Kansas or one of those areas where the one in 2017 and the one this year, their paths crossed. So those people
got
in like 7 years got 2 total eclipses.
That's cool.
How fucking crazy! Like you almost have to believe in like a higher power or something.
Well, think about like the Earth's rotating and it's revolving, and the moon's going around that, and then where you're at on the planet has to be lined up precisely where the moon and the sun intersect.
And it's even crazier than that because it's a cosmic anomaly too. Because the only reason we on Earth get total eclipses is because the moon is 400 times larger or 400 times smaller than the sun, and coincidentally also 400 times closer than the sun. So they're the same size in the sky.
Right. At the right distance apart. Yeah.
Because if it was larger, it would just get black and then come back.
But we get that ring of fire.
If it was smaller, it would never have the ring of fire effect. We're so lucky that it's literally the same fucking size.
Yeah.
Dude, it is so like when you start thinking about it, it starts fucking blowing your mind more and more and more. Like, and I'm not really a spiritual, dude. I'm not really a spiritual person or anything like that. But like when I start thinking about this stuff, just from like that whole like you start galaxy braining everything, it's like wow, like there is some
cosmic shit
that is just like coincidentally amazing that's going on here.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say about it. But yeah, it was, to make a very long story, to sum it up, it was rad, and I am so happy I had a chance to see it. And I think even those people that sat in traffic for 5 hours are probably stoked that they spent 3 minutes just to watch it.
Yeah, because it really,
you know what I mean? Like
like you said, man, it's
cool.
like you're in a whole nother dimension. Like when that happens, it literally is not just even the light going to dark and the dark going back to light. But like what Jake was trying to say is like, if the moon isn't fully covering that sun, it only takes a sliver of sun to provide enough light to the planet. Like it's that powerful, and that's what's crazy too. So, like, it's got to be lined up perfectly. But when it happens, there's a texture to the light that is being emitted. And it's
crazy.
It's so weird. I've never seen a darkness that was purple like that.
It's almost like this is going to sound totally, totally stupid. But it's almost like it's light and dark at the same time.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Like
it's because there's light.
How to describe it?
Because the sun's light is still. I feel like it's coming out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hitting other parts of the earth.
Yeah.
So like if you did a 360, it would look like a sunset all around you. It's really weird. Like literally all around you, there's a sunset happening. Which doesn't work because the sun, sets and rises on certain sides. But it's literally 360. And I think it's that glow that comes inward, and it's just fucking the hue, the way the light's refracting is so fucking weird looking.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Man. I don't have anything else to say
Felt like I was
it is
playing Destiny or something.
Really.
It's on one of those fucking
really
planets.
fucking cool.
Yeah. All right, well, let's get into video game talk. I think we've talked enough. Fucking 38 minutes about the fucking Eclipse. I'm officially titling the show Total Eclipse of My Fart. So that'll be the new title. Anyways, every episode we talk about games that we're playing. There's not a lot of news this week anyways, so this works out for everybody. I did beat The Devil in Me. It was good. I liked it. 3 of the 5 characters died in my playthrough. This was the hardest Dark Pictures anthology that I played. 3 of 5 died. And I didn't get the trophy for beating the game, but I did beat it. It didn't pop, and I don't know why it didn't pop. So, yeah. So there's that. So I'm kind of bummed about that, but I might actually end up playing that again maybe this Halloween. And then I did start the Callisto Protocol, which is on Plus. It was one of our free essential.
How far are you liking it so far?
I love it so far. I really love the linearity of it.
Isn't it like just atmospherically really cool?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm liking it.
I kind of wish you'd play Dead Space first, but because I'm curious what you'll think about Dead Space after playing this, because Dead Space, in my opinion, in most people's opinion, is the superior game. But there's so much in common with the aesthetics and kind of the atmosphere and everything.
Yeah.
And I will say though, like my one curiosity is like, what do you think of that fucking dodge mechanic?
Dude,
I hated it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it grew on me. Like I learned how to use it. But at first I was like, what the, like having to flick the stick and stuff. Like,
yeah,
it's fine, but it's not. Dude, just let me, give me. It's like, why are you changing? Why are you fucking reinventing the wheel here? Like, just give me the, like, you know, left and circle, like normal dodge mechanic or whatever. You know what I mean?
I will often flick the wrong stick. Like I know to flick the stick, but I flick the wrong one and I get hit. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I've had a few scenarios where I got ganged up on, which weren't fun. I've died once, and I'm not super far. I don't know. I don't think the game really was that long, but like, I like the linearity of it. I love it, and I appreciate that, and I love just the story that's kind of being told. You're like this guy. The guy that you play reminds me of somebody that should be in The Expanse.
He's just like a shipping guy, right? Like a cargo, like a smuggler, or something.
Yeah.
Like he's like not anything special. He's just making a delivery.
Yeah, he's just a dude.
He's just kind of a rough and tumble delivery dude.
Yeah, he's just a fucking dude. So I like his character. Without spoiling it, I went through some things, and I've now rendezvoused with a guy that I freed out of a jail. So I'm at that point. So I don't think I'm very far, but I am really enjoying it, and I love that it feels like a game I can just play a little bit of and put away. Just progress it just a little bit and then shut it down. So those are the two games I'm playing. I'm still eagerly awaiting Darkest Dungeon 2 news. I want to see when this is coming to console. I looked at some of the deals, and the Contra collection did look appealing, but I didn't purchase anything because what I did was I went back through my library and I saw the Callisto Protocol, and I was in the mood for something kind of scary after The Devil and Me because I really liked the vibe it gave me. Enjoyed playing it late at night, and I wanted something kind of spooky and kind of like, just kind of not like gory, but this is a really gory game, but like nothing that like, I don't know, like Halloween or something, but I just wanted something that felt kind of remote and just fucking good environment, and it's hitting the nail right on the head. So I'll be back next week with more to talk about that game. I'm sure I'll probably get a few more hours in at least. What about you, Jake? What are you playing?
Yeah, I was surprised to hear you say you're playing the Callisto Protocol because I mean, I talked on the show about how I really liked it, but there were definitely some flaws with it, but I still really liked it. I probably liked it more than I would say most of the people you would see on the internet talking about it anyway.
I think they just built the hype up too hard on it.
Yeah, I mean, they're just like, oh, that's the Dead Space guy, and like,
this game's gonna be amazing. Yeah, right.
I think it was too expensive, and yeah, I think they overhyped it, and it's a fine game. But so I beat Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Finally, it took me 82 hours to beat it, which is a long ass time if you didn't know. Now, granted, I did everything other than like the Queen's Blood matches and like a few of the Queen's Blood matches and a couple of like the Fort Condor things and stuff. So I did all, like, most of the shit on the map. I did all of the side quests except for one, and that's because the one side quest I didn't do was like, go like beat this guy at all of the mini games at the fucking Gold Saucer, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. It's like, I don't care about this. But I did all the Chocobo races, got the gold cup. I did all of like I think the story, like the side quests are worth doing because they do build upon your relationship with the characters and stuff. And obviously you level up and everything. And
yeah,
and the simulator's good to do because you can unlock the new, new summons. Like, there are some summons that are like fucking legit. Like Odin is one of the last ones you get, and he's just a boss.
Right.
And then there's like Leviathan. I think you get if you've got a save from Final Fantasy VII Remake that transfers over. You just get that one for free, which is awesome. He's really good. But really enjoyed it. I was getting a little bit like flustered with the story by the end, but like nothing that was really a deal breaker. They did stick to like the main beats of Final Fantasy VII, so I'm curious how they'll wrap it up. There's an aspect to it that I'm not like stoked about, but it's not like a deal breaker.
Right.
So anyway, finish that up, and then
Excuse me.
I wanted something to play. So I don't know if you remember, we got this month that for PS Plus we got that Skul game.
Oh yeah, I heard that's good.
It's like that side scroller thing or whatever. It was 16-bit like side scroller. So it's like, oh, I'm looking for a palate cleanser. So I install this game. I jump into it. I'm playing it. There's this cute little, the main character is like this cute little skeleton whose head falls off.
It's called Skul the Hero Slayer.
Yeah. Yeah. And so like you can like take the heads of other skeletons and get different powers and stuff. It's kind of like the reverse of that game Headlander I talked about a long time ago, which is a fucking amazing game.
Yeah.
Where you're a head and you just steal people's bodies. But this is like you're a skeleton and you can steal other skeletons' head. But it's cool because it's from the perspective of like the bad guys. Like you're a skeleton and like your friend is like a witch and you're trying to save the Demon King from like the heroes. You're trying to save them from the heroes, which is like a cool kind of concept. So I'm playing it. Dude, I was like jumping around and fighting, and I could tell I just had a smile on my face playing this game because it was just so nice after playing a long haul like Final Fantasy VII to play this like side-scrolly like 16-bit kind of game. And I'm playing it, I'm really enjoying it, and then I fucking Big Box is gonna get a kick out of this. I fucking died. Okay.
Jesus.
And then I wake up and I'm like, all right. And all my shit's gone. And I jump down and I go through the portal, first fucking level. And I'm like, maybe this is just like a thing, right? Like a tutorial thing. So I play again, fucking die, wake up. It's a roguelike. So I literally, I'm not even kidding. This would probably make Big Box laugh. I literally closed the game, uninstalled it. I was like, the gameplay in this is so much fucking fun, but I don't give a shit. Like, it totally ruined everything about it that it was a roguelike. And I understand that people love the genre, and I'm not taking anything away from them. It's just not for me.
Right.
Like, it ruins my gaming experience when I have to, like one of the things that has transformed for me as I've gotten older is that like my time when I game has to mean something. And for me personally, it's progression in story. And so like I get very, very upset and irritated when I have to play the same thing over and over again. Like if I die too many times fighting the same boss, I'll stop playing a game. Like I'll come back to it. But like I gotta have progress because I only play fucking games for like 40 minutes a day.
Yeah, you can't sink all that time in.
I don't want to bitch about freaking roguelikes again. I know I've
then
gone
stop
off the
bitching about it.
rails.
No, I'm just kidding.
So I quit playing that game, unfortunately, and I was gonna play that game Ultros.
Oh yeah,
and because I thought it looked pretty cool, dug a little bit deeper. That's also a roguelike.
Yeah, it's all they make anymore.
And so I part of me like truly believes that it's just literally a cost cutting measure, but people apparently really like it, but people also really like Fortnite. So what do I know? So I stopped playing that, and I'm digging around for other games that I want to play, digging through the PS Plus extra catalog. I just gotta get me to Stellar Blade at the end of the month. Because I actually really want to play that game. Because I think I played through the demo and I really enjoyed it. And so it's funny. I was chuckling a little when I saw that you were playing Callisto Protocol because I literally just installed Resident Evil 3 Remake.
Oh.
It was like we were just on the same fucking wavelength because I was
That's
like,
crazy.
I kind of want to play this because I
Right.
never played it. Right? I played 2. I
3 was
really
good,
liked
dude.
it, and I never played 3 because it just kind of slipped me by that year.
Did you ever play
And,
3, the original?
No, I never played Nemesis, but I always wanted to. I always loved the concept of the Nemesis character, but I just never played it. So I installed Resident Evil 3 Remake, started it out, and it's just from the beginning, it's fucking awesome. Like I'm not even I'm not even kidding. I'm maybe a half an hour into this game. I literally just got to the part where you meet, I don't know if you remember at the beginning, you meet like that soldier guy and you get on the subway with there's like a subway that you get on and there's like a bunch of civilians that you're trying to save. It's like the very beginning of the game. Like you walk out of your apartment, all this shit goes down, you like scramble for a bit, and then you're at this spot. Okay. So like I'm maybe 25 minutes into the game and I'm already just kind of amped to go back and play it.
Those games look so good. The remakes look so good.
Dude, Capcom is just fucking killing it with this Resident Evil shit recently. Between like starting at Resident Evil 7, 2 remake, 3 remake, Village, 4 remake, like they're all fucking legit.
Which one did you do in VR recently?
Village.
You didn't do the latest one.
I didn't do 4 remake. No.
Oh,
that's next on my list.
You got to fucking do that in VR, man.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm thinking, right? That I'll probably do that. I can't
fucking wait. Oh, you're gonna fucking go nuts. It's not scary. It's just awesome.
Yeah, we'll see how I feel when I get to it because I have to be in the mode for VR, but I do want to play it. I might even play it twice. Just play it once in VR and once in regular because I do really like that game. But anyway, I that's all I got to say about it. I'm really not that far into it. I'm really enjoying it so far.
Yeah.
And not that I really have a lot to say about it, but it's just classic Resident Evil, but like with the polish just turned up to 11. And playing it on PS5 because I believe it came out on PS4 originally.
Yep.
And so playing it on PS5, I have the graphics like all the way up, and it still holds up relatively stable high frame rate, even with the ray tracing and all that stuff. Now it does dip during certain cutscenes and things, but I don't know. I'm just kind of hanging out there now, and I'm excited to get back to it, and it'll give me something to do for the next couple of weeks while I wait for Stellar Blade. Probably, I will admit I've had interest in Dragon's Dogma 2 because I've been hearing a lot of good things about it.
Yeah,
but I'm just not ready to jump back into a game that's going to take me tens of hours to beat or whatever the hell it is. So, yeah.
Dude,
so that's where I'm at.
I don't mean to be so distracted. I'm listening to everything you're saying. What the fuck? Listen, there's no lighter down here. I want to light a candle. This thing is an electric thing where you just push a button. It like zaps like a taser, but it makes electricity, right? It's dead. I need to fucking charge it. What kind of adapter is that?
It's USB-C, is it not?
I've looked through so many fucking things here. I have so many cables.
It's because you have all that Apple shit that uses that fucking lightning connector.
I can't find a fucking cable to charge this damn thing.
Literally everything now that's not Apple comes with USB-C. So you should have something somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see anything. It doesn't matter.
You'll just have to deal with it.
I just don't have a lighter down here. I wanted to light that candle. All right, I'm sorry. It's fucking annoying. All right.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna skip Dragon's Dogma for now. I heard it doesn't perform very well anyway, like from frame rate perspective, at least especially in towns and stuff. But so Resident Evil is on my plate for the near future. Then I'm gonna jump into Stellar Blade, and then probably come May, I don't remember when in May, but Hellblade 2 comes out. I know that's not coming to PlayStation, but it's going to be on Xbox, and I'll probably play that because I really liked the first one. Did you play Hellblade, the first one?
No, I never did, man. And I'm not going to. I'm not going to play it until I can find out that 2's coming my way.
Well, I'll tell you this, and it probably will eventually, but I will say that if it was something like, if there was an Xbox game that you really wanted to play, I would just let you borrow my Xbox if you wanted to play it.
It's really nice of you.
Because I don't play it that much. And
you're not at all.
I mean, I play it like probably 4 to 6 games a year on it. So it's not like I play a lot. And for some stupid fucking reason, I maintain a Game Pass subscription. So there's like all these games I could play.
I know the feeling, man. It's annoying.
But yeah, anyway, that's getting a little bit off track.
Yeah,
but I do
derailed.
think Hellblade's one of those games I think you would really dig.
I probably would, but I just I don't know, man. Like I said, I want to get
another game for another time.
Yeah, I just don't want to get invested if I know I can't play it right now with my current setup. But let's talk about the news. Every episode we talk about the news, and we're gonna get into a couple quick news stories. There was no listener feedback, so as far as if I did my checks the way I normally do, nobody wrote in on this last episode. So forever hold your peace. You can write us, though, at psisawesome@gmail.com. Leave a comment on our YouTube channel, or as we prefer, go over to Patreon and leave us a little comment on that. I'm curious to hear what Prescriptin thinks of our WWF characters or WWE characters.
Yeah.
So let me know if you like the idea, man, of the general. What was he called? General practitioner. Yeah, let me know if you dug that. But getting into news, the first news point today is this is something I completely forgot about, and because I wasn't very interested to begin with. But Iron Man is a game that EA has been working on. They got the license to work on an Iron Man game, and they've been working on it. And apparently, it's moving along, so it's still in the process of being developed. But they've indicated that it will likely be a few years before we really see anything. So they just wanted to let us know. Don't forget they're doing something there. So there's that. I've got nothing else to say about that. Jake, do you have anything about the Iron Man game?
No, I'm curious to see what it will end up being from a gameplay perspective, because games where you have a character that can fly around is tricky, because it really does vastly transform the way that a game can be played.
Right.
So I wonder, and it can be hard to balance that sometimes. So I wonder how the Iron Man game is going to work. Outside of that, I think Iron Man would be a great character to play as in a video game with all his gadgets and shit.
Yeah,
I
it'd
think
be
it could
really fun.
So I'm excited to see at least what it ends up being. Whether or not I bite the bullet on is a different story. We'll have to find out. I'm not, there's no reason to be hyped at this moment, but I'm curious for sure.
We got an Iron Man game in VR. I think it was the last Iron Man game we got, and I think it didn't tank, but it didn't fucking do gangbusters either. So, next news point here. This one's kind of interesting, I think. If I can write down the timestamp. Star Wars Outlaws. Got a new trailer, and we're confirmed for an August PS5 release date. That's coming up right around the bend. Star Wars is going to launch August 30th, 2024, and it's going to be on the PS5. And there's a new story trailer, and this is going to be the first. They're stating the first open world Star Wars game. So this is Ubisoft, right? And it looks actually good. And this was...
I was going to say, I was gonna say, I know you're not a Star Wars guy, but I was wondering if you saw the gameplay, because like last year they had like a 20-minute gameplay reveal for this, and it looks fucking great, in my opinion.
Yeah, this game looks awesome. It was leaked by Ubisoft Japan's YouTube premiere page. And you can go on YouTube now and watch this. It's Star Wars Outlaws. And I'm not going to fucking lie, dude. This looks good. I don't know what it's going to be like. And I don't... Open world, great. Is it... It's not like an MMO, right? It's just an open world Star Wars game.
No, it's just like an open world action game. Kind of like, I don't know, freaking Spider-Man or something. I don't think there's anything really special about it. I think there's probably, third person shooting and gadgets. Cause I think you're like a, maybe not a bounty hunter, but like a Han Solo type character. So it's not like you're going to be, maybe you will have some kind of lightsaber at some point, but I don't think you're not like a Jedi as far as I know. So it's not that kind of game.
This game looks awesome. So
it looks great. And
they've also announced, and this is a little more Star Wars Outlaws news that I didn't have on our notes, dude, but it's definitely releasing on August 30th, but there's going to be post-launch support for this game. And Ubisoft has indicated that there will be 2 expansions that they have planned for this game after its release. And it looks so dope. But I don't know how it's going to feel. I don't know, is the story going to be good, or is it going to be more of like a collectathon where it's just like a GTA that you just fucking dick around in and just try to rob ships? I hope there's an awesome story. But the story trailer.
Me too. Out. I'm sure there'll be something there.
Yeah.
It depends on your description of awesome. But I think both you and I kind of admitted last week that it doesn't really take a lot for us to be compelled by a story, as long as it's, cogent and not like actually just awful.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll say this. Moving forward, there have been some reports or rumors leaking, which will hopefully make our PlayStation Gamer podcast listeners excited about, that by the end of 2024, we're going to see some smaller exclusives coming to PlayStation. Now, that's nothing new. We get indies and all this stuff, but like these are going to be exclusive to PlayStation. So there are rumors that the long-anticipated return of Astro Bot could be one of these titles. So my question is it VR2 compatible, or is it just straight Astro Bot?
I would hope that it would be like a straight Astro Bot game that has a VR mode. Like maybe you can play it in VR if you want, and maybe there are VR features. But I think that the way that they're going to be able to sell this is that you have to be able to play it like Astro's Playroom. You can't just like make it locked to VR like Rescue Mission. So even though a lot of people loved it, I know you did, but I would settle at this point for just a VR2 port of Rescue Mission so I could fucking play it. But we don't even have that.
No, you're right.
So I wouldn't expect this to be a VR only title. It might have VR mode or VR capabilities, but I would almost stake my reputation on it being whatever that's worth, for it being like a flat screen first game,
like a platformer or something. Yeah,
like a Resident Evil or something. And maybe there's a VR mode where you can play it in VR.
Well, we'll find out. And this is all speculation that we're getting Astro Bot. I mean, I would imagine we are, but
if I didn't say this already, I would be very excited to play another Astro Bot game, because I loved Astro's Playroom. I thought it was fucking awesome.
Yeah, Rescue Mission was great. Playroom was great.
Oh man, those games are like, it's so nice to play a game like that from time to time.
That's not heavy.
And step away from all these games that are just like heavy as shit, or like, like to me, I don't consider Resident Evil one of these like heavy kind of games, because it's almost like this silly horror kind of game, but like it can be spooky. But I don't know, man. I don't want a game that takes itself too seriously. And
I do, but I don't want it all the time.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
Not all the time. And coming off of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, where it's like the first 3/4 of the game are really light and bubbly, and then it just gets dark as fuck at the end. It's like, okay, well, I'm excited to see a little sunshine, both literally and figuratively.
Very good. Very good. Speaking of the Star Wars game, the Ubisoft stuff, the next big gaming event is going to be the Ubisoft Forward, which is going to be happening June 10th. However, I want it to be known that there are also rumors swirling that PlayStation may kick out a Super 6 State of Play, which may feature Ghost of Tsushima 2 in May.
When? Oh, in May, yeah.
So
yeah,
that might happen prior to the Ubisoft Forward. So don't quote me on this shit, but these are what the things that I'm hearing online. So, but yeah, Ubisoft Forward, that'll be nice. I'd like to see. Did Heartland ever come out?
I don't think so. Pretty sure.
Division Heartland. I don't think that's come out. Was Ubisoft working on that? Who was the game?
Yeah.
Was it Ubisoft, or did they pass it on to somebody?
No, it's theirs. It's being made by Red Storm. Yeah, it's not out yet.
That's a game I'd like to see more of.
Yeah, it looks like we don't know. Nobody knows. We haven't seen anything. Interesting. I know that was kind of like a sideline of the conversation, but yeah, Ubisoft. Very rarely do I get excited for things that Ubisoft releases anymore, because they're just like they're like a publisher that just really doesn't jive with me generally, other than Far Cry. And but I will say, like, that Star Wars game looks great, and Division Heartland being a free-to-play game, like, I'm willing to give it a try. I mean, the Division is cool.
Yeah, and there's gonna be a Division 3, so Heartland's kind of like an in-between game. So
I could see them doing a thing where it's like the Division Heartland is like an experiment. It's like, if the Division Heartland is successful and it's this live service fucking free-to-play thing with tons of microtransactions and it's successful, that might just be the Division moving forward.
Well, they said,
but if it's a piece of shit, then they could be like, oh, that was an interstitial. Here's Division 3. I don't know. Like, I think they did say that they are developing 2 Division games in tandem.
Yeah,
but
they've confirmed that Division 3 is happening. So Ubisoft said that it's happening, and they did say it's in development at Massive. Now, Massive is also they're a Swedish studio, and they're working on, right now, their focus will be Star Wars Outlaws. I think they're the ones working on that game. So I think when that wraps up, I think the Division 3 most likely will be the next big project they do. But they got that expansion shit to do and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. But I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I think how well Heartland does will be a good proving ground for the title. So Division 3 could get fucking canned if Heartland doesn't do well.
Oh, they just did that game Avatar too.
Yeah, they did Avatar. They've been fucking putting out a lot of shit, dude. So,
dude, I'm excited. I'm not like there are very few things in the Star Wars universe that excite me anymore, even though I was a huge fan of the original trilogy. And I really loved like Jedi Outcast and Force Unleashed and like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this Outlaws game actually has me really excited.
It looks fucking good.
And I don't know why. Like, there's something about the vibe of it that is just like it's just hitting me in all the right places. Well,
because it looks like they nailed the setting.
Well, it's got yes, and also it's got It's got
Sigourney Weaver's in it.
flavors. It's got flavors of that. Well, that doesn't hurt, right? But it's got
Is she in
flavors
it?
of that. I don't know.
She
I don't
looks
know.
like the main character looks like Sigourney Weaver in the trailer,
Kind of, yeah.
like from
but
Alien.
it's got flavors of that. You remember that canceled Star Wars game that looked amazing from back in the day, 1313?
Yeah.
It was like it was like a bounty hunter outlaw game where you were going down into like the 13th floor into the depths of Coruscant or something, and like it looked amazing and everybody was so stoked on it, and then it just got canceled out of nowhere during that whole consolidation with EA.
Okay.
This was a long time ago. It's amazing I even remember this. But this game looks great.
Yeah, dude. So, yeah, Ubisoft Forward. I'm sure we'll see more of this game in May or in June for sure, if it's supposed to come out in August. I don't know that we need to see a lot more because that story trailer is awesome. And then lastly, last little news point before we get into the new games coming out this week is anybody who's into some old school rap, dude. This actually looks fucking really appealing to me. I'm not gonna lie. Beat Saber has a new audio thing out, a new down DLC. It's called the Hip Hop Mixtape. We got 9 songs. It's gonna feature Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Outkast, Notorious B.I.G., Grandmaster Flash, Tupac, and more. Like, holy fuck, are you kidding me? Like, it's like the who's who of fucking rap. And it's
that's like the you're talking about that's like the golden age of the, I don't know if you would call that the gangster rap era, but like,
dude, that would be so fun in Beat Saber.
Depending on the tracks, I could see it being a good time.
Yeah. Anyway,
do you think they'll have California Love in there?
They tell you what songs on the
do
thing.
they?
Yeah, I don't think it's that one. I think it's All Eyes on Me. Is that what it's called?
Okay.
Is that what it's called? The Tupac song? What's it called?
I'm not like a huge hip hop fan, so I'm not sure.
Let me look here real quick because I kind of want to. I want to tell you. I want to tell you, dude. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Beat Saber. Here we go. Don't they normally put the... Okay, here we go. What the fuck? Why is it the story? Oh, hold on.
All Eyes on Me.
Is that what it is?
Yep. So Tupac, All Eyes on Me, Nicki Minaj, Anaconda, Snoop Dogg, Gin and Juice, Eminem, Godzilla, Outkast, Hey Ya, Notorious B.I.G., Hypnotize, Dre, Nothing But a G Thing,
Jesus.
Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five, The Message, and Pop Smoke, The Woo. So
is the message was like, don't push me cause I'm close to the... Is that who is that? Is that Grim?
I have no idea.
Don't push me.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, that's The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. You know that song. It's like... Does it keep from going under? It's so fucking good. It's old school fucking rap, dude. It's old. It's like 82. That album dropped. This guy was
That's
like
awesome.
Was like an original fucking rapper, dude. So good. Probably one of the first rap songs about fucking inner city and stress.
I'm surprised they don't have like Run DMC. I mean, maybe they do have Run DMC, and I just haven't seen it. Or like like Ice Cube and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
I see some fucking Scarface, dude. My Block. That's my favorite rap song.
Yeah, I feel like there's so like
RZA,
from the '90s,
Wu-Tang.
from like the late '80s into the early 2000s. I feel like there's so many like top tier rap artists and songs that they could probably do. that it's probably just, I wonder how, it must be difficult to maybe get the licensing for a lot of this stuff.
Well,
Because,
especially if there's
like, whenever
samples and shit, dude.
Because, like, when I play Beat Saber, I'm like, this is amazing. But at the same time, I'm like, how are there not more songs?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how are there not, like, if you go to Rocksmith or Rock Band or something like that, like Rocksmith specifically, which is the one where you actually play the real guitar and you learn, there's like literally 1,000 songs on there from any fucking band you can possibly imagine. Like, you would think something like this, it'd be like they would be wanting to get everything.
Dude,
but maybe because it's a VR thing, it doesn't produce enough money. I don't know.
Dude, but there are so few audio packs. Like, I would give them all of One of My Land's music and be like, dude, just fucking put it on there just for the exposure. I'd be like, just fucking make a game, put our new fucking record on there, dude. I guarantee 100 to fucking 5,000 people would probably love it. That would have access to it. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking download it and fucking play along with it.
I do think there is probably an element, though, of like, how difficult is it to make it so that when you're swinging the sabers around, it's actually fun to play for a specific song.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
They have on the PC, I think you can just use your own songs and it just figures it out. It like looks at the
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks at the peaks and valleys in the wave file and figures it out.
Dude, if they make the VR2 PC compatible, I'm going to fucking buy it on PC because I want to try that. I think that'd be cool as shit.
Yeah, to fucking play your own songs and Beat Saber. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So anyways, every episode we talk about new games coming out on the PSN. This episode is no different. We're just cruising along here. And new games out this week, April 10th. And let me just preface this by saying the episode is a day late for our patrons. And I'm sorry. The Eclipse kind of fucked everything up. So, you probably get it around the same time as everybody else this time. And that doesn't happen often. But thank you for your patience and understanding. But new games coming out April 10th. Broken Roads on PS5, PS4. House Flipper 2 on PS5. Soko Frog on PS5 and PS4. April 11th, we're getting Let's Revolution, PS5 on PS4. Loretta on PS5, PS4, The Kinderman Remedy on PS5 and PS4. In April 12th, we're getting Outer Terror on PS5 and PS4. And that's all she wrote. Not a lot of, I don't want to say big games, but not a lot of games in general coming out this week that I could find. But that's really all that I have. None of those really strike my fancy. Scratch the itch. Tickle my tailbone.
There's not much there that I don't know if there's anything in there that I actually know what the fuck it is.
Outer Terror is on Steam and it has an 8 out of 10. Metacritic has a 73. It is a roguelike horde shooter. Sounds exactly like nothing I want to deal with. So, I don't know. What's the Kinderman Remedy? Kinderman Remedy has a 7 out of 10 on Steam. And it doesn't say what it is. It's the most blasphemous, diabolical, and insane management game ever created. Aided by a lascivious nun in a grim prison. Rig executions, conduct horde. Oh, it sounds like you're torturing prisoners or killing prisoners. That sounds interesting. But yeah, nothing that really pops out. So, anyways, I don't have anything else for the show. I'm gonna have a busy weekend, man. Let me look here. We got some gigs coming up, which is exciting. Don't forget, Jake and I play music. You can find our music just under my name on wherever. And then I play in a rock and roll band called One If by Land. If you haven't heard of us, go check out our new record, American Crows. I'm playing solo in Edinburgh on the 12th, Edinburgh, PA. And then on the 13th, we're taking our friends in the band Night Marathons from Pittsburgh up to Erie to play at Lavery's with us. And a couple other punk bands. So that's going to be fun. And we're going to have a nice sound system. We're going to be micing everything up. It's going to be rad. So we didn't get to practice, but we'll still be fine. We're all rehearsing on our own. The reason is because Troy came down with a sickness. So he's on the mend, but just for the sake of making sure we can play, we're just...
Did he get the stomach thing or did he get the flu thing?
He actually had bronchitis.
Oh, yeah, that's going around too. A lot of people are getting that. It's like when I was sick, it's like fucking aftermath of the flu. I had all this coughing and shit that was going on. I don't think it's exactly the same thing, but like there's just so much going around right now.
Yeah.
It's like stay away from people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. So yeah, man, I don't know. So that's all I got going on this weekend. But if any of our listeners want to come out and fucking hang out at a concert, you know where to find me now. But we will talk to you guys next week. This is the end of the episode. Jake, is there anything you'd like to say before we close out for the show?
No, I don't. I mean, have a whole lot going on this weekend. I'm probably gonna have to be honest with you, I'm gonna have to probably mow again, because the grass is just growing like crazy right now, and I've been looking at tractors. This is kind of a random thing. I don't know that I'm gonna buy one because they're really expensive, but I've always wanted one, and especially like I have the type of property that I could justify owning one. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, man, they're expensive. But there's something cool about like just having a piece of fucking heavy machinery where you can just like dig big ass holes and like tear out bushes and like.
I mean, that is cool, like, but not for that fucking price.
I'm sure most of the audience probably cannot relate whatsoever. But like when you have a lot of work to do outside around your house, and you think about like, oh man, if I have all this landscaping that I need to pull out this year because I want to put new landscaping in because we're gonna do some siding and stuff, and think about like how long and hard it would be, like how long it would take and how hard it would be to try to pull some of these big bushes out by hand. You have to like dig around them and chop the roots up with an axe and like try and get it. Like, so having a piece of equipment where you can literally just wrap a chain around it and yank it out of the ground is like, oh man. But I'm into this kind of stuff. Like fucking
dude, just fucking rent one when you need to use one. You can rent them.
Well, I've got a little bit of a cheat code because my dad has a skid loader, so like he's just gonna bring it over and we're gonna do it. So I really don't need one. But like, Jesus. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I'm as I get older, I'm getting into like the most fucking homesteader type shit, and it's cool, man, but it's all very expensive. Like you can literally, for the price of like a compact tractor that would be like the size that I would want, I mean, you could literally buy a car for it. So it's pretty expensive. I mean, it would be a cheap car, but still, that's a lot of money for something that you're just going to use every now and again.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, man. Just buy me a motorcycle and I'll fucking pay you back.
So you want to go even further with it. I was actually looking at bulldozers.
Jesus Christ.
Because I was like, so
I'm sorry I asked
last year, I don't think I got into it on the podcast much, but last summer, when I was a kid, I used to race dirt bikes. And last summer, I bought an old dirt bike just to kind of dick around on, and I wanted to get back into riding just as like a hobby because it's a lot. I take my road bike to the track and it's super expensive, so dirt biking is just way cheaper, and I have a field that I own as part of my property, and I said something to my wife. I was like, what if I like made our field into a dirt bike track? And she was like, well, I'd actually rather you did that than go out to a track all the time. And if you get hurt, at least you're at home. And so I was like, oh, man. But they make all those dirt bike track with bulldozers. So I'm like looking them up. And you want to talk about tractors being expensive? A fucking bulldozer. Like, I was looking at a bulldozer, like not a huge one, just like a reasonably sized one. A bulldozer that's literally 50 years old still costs almost $20,000. Like, how does anyone afford any of this shit? But anyway, I digress. I like heavy machinery. If anybody wants, like, okay, so here's what I'm going to say. If like 10,000 of you guys want to subscribe to the Patreon so that in like a year I can buy a fucking tractor, that would be awesome. And I would I'll take a video of me building something with it in your name
and then ramping his bike off it.
I'll do yeah, I'll do hay rides for the patrons that help me buy my tractor.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, I'm done. I want to go eat dinner, so let's close it up.
What the fuck does your shirt say? All I see is America. What does it say?
It says Moto America.
Okay.
It's the top level of road racing in America.
All right. Well,
for motorbikes.
All right. Well, very good. Nothing but motorcycles over here and bulldozers. Fucking the most random things for two video game podcast hosts to fucking talk about.
Dude, I know we talk about it from time to time on the podcast, but like I have very few like true loves in life, and it's like video games, motorcycles, and fucking hockey and music. Like those are the four things that I'm into.
And home fucking
and I guess
improvement.
Maybe four is a lot, but anyway, end the show.
Yeah, let's fucking get out of here. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. Guys and girls, have a fucking good week. We'll be back next week. This has been episode 323 of PS. This is awesome. Every Wednesday, the episode airs for free on YouTube and your preferred streaming platform. If you want to subscribe to our Patreon, please go find it. Give us $1 a month and have access, most times, to a early show and a sticker. We'll mail you a sticker, dude. So like Frogger, Five Nights at Freddy's, and Forged in Shadow Torch. P.S. This is awesome.